Hello, Kids Ministry parents, and welcome to this week's Parent Update. I'm here to update you on everything that's going on here in the Kids Ministry of First Christian Church. We had a fantastic Sunday yesterday. I think we had a really good time. Not a lot of kids with us yesterday because of COVID and the snow and everything like that. But I do think that we had a good Sunday, at least in KidZone. I heard good things from Shaylee about WeeKidz too. So let's go ahead and get into what your kids learned about in those different areas. If your kid was in KidZone, they will have started a new series called Pure and Clean. I did a video about what that series is about and some different aspects of teaching your children about purity a little bit. We are not going to be going into detail about sexual temptation or anything like that, but we are going into detail about sin and temptation for that. So if you have any questions about that, we have another video here on the Facebook page. You can go ahead and go and watch it there. But this whole series just pretty much about general sin, general temptation, and how we can avoid those things and not do those things. This week in particular, we learned about tempting others and how it's good for us to say no to temptation, but it's especially good for us not to try and tempt others, whether our friends, our family, whoever it is, not to tempt them. We looked at the story of the weak and the strong from Romans 14. We actually looked at that story a couple weeks ago, but we felt like it really fit for this situation as well to show that sometimes people believe different things, or maybe sometimes some people have different rules in their house as other people, and that's okay, but we need to make sure that we respect those rules and that we are kind about what other people believe is right or wrong. So even though we might disagree, we still want to be kind and gentle with them. In Romans 14, verse 13, it says, "Make up your mind not to put anything in your brother's way, that they might make him trip and fall." So we talked a lot about what trip and fall means. That, when it's not about don't put your leg out and trip somebody, but don't tempt other people. Don't make them fall into sin. Even if it's something that you think is okay or your parents say is okay, if it's not okay for them, we don't want to make them do those things, and vice versa. We don't want our friends to do that to us either. And our Bible point yesterday was live pure, don't tempt your friends to sin. So very straightforward, live pure, don't tempt your friends to sin. Over in WeeKidz, they played with some snow that they made. They had a really good time with that, and they talked a lot about being pure as well. So their story that they're looking at is a test in the desert. It's the story of Jesus when he was tested in the desert after receiving the Holy Spirit. And so they talked about what it means to be pure. So they want to talk about later in the series about how to be pure, but this week they talked a lot about what it means to be pure. So that white snow of being clean, being white, not necessarily being white, but you know what I mean, with the cleansing and not having any blemishes, not having any sin, saying no to temptation to do those things is good. So they looked at the story of Jesus being tempted in Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. And the verse they looked at to help with that was Psalm chapter 51, verse 10 in the NIRV. It said, "God, create a pure heart in me." So that's the author asking God, create a pure heart in me. And so not only do we want kids to know what pure means, but we want their prayers by the end of the series to be the same as that prayer. God, create a pure heart in me. So just that message there. And going on from there, the Bible point says, "I say no to sins." So very clear, very matter of fact, I say no to sins. And that's kind of what kids learned yesterday in WeeKidz and in KidZone. As always, we are looking to open up the Sunday school at some point. We are looking forward to doing that, but we want to hear from you first. If that's something you're interested in, please let us know. As well as the nursery too. We've heard a few parents talk about wanting to have the nursery back open, and we do want to have that happen, but we do need to make sure that we have people in place to be there for that. So the nursery has been open in the past, but many of the people who have been working the nursery in the past are not comfortable with being with us right now. So we either need to have some of those people come back in when they are ready, or we might need some more people to do that. So if you're somebody who's interested in working in the nursery, volunteering in that area so we can get it back open, please talk with Shaylee. I'm sure she would love to speak with you about that. And then, like always, all our resources are now digital, so if the link is in the description here. You can go to that. And as well as that, our family lessons. The links are on our website. They're also in that link as well. And we are currently working through having the Easter egg hunt right now. That's going to be the Saturday before Easter, and we are trying to have VBS. We'll let you know more about that when we have more to know, but that is something that's still up in the air a little bit right now. We will have it. We will at least have a virtual one like we did last year, but we are really trying to have it in person. So I have all the materials for it. I have everything bought to do it. We just need to know, is it going to be in person or is it going to be virtual? So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Please let me know if you have any thoughts or you have any questions, and I would love to speak to you about those. So have a great week.